finished my wrap, and as you can see, it's so colourful, and I've got all these ends. And what I've done is I've gone through and put stitch markers where I thought I might want my tassels. You could use pom-poms, you can do anything on the end, or you can completely sew them in if you like. The yellow one there is missing because there was no end hanging out. But you can see they're not all the same length. I will have to trim them off. And you're going to need to find something to make your tassels with. I have this book. How cute is it? It's just a notepad with some lines in it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you use. You could use a CD covered case if they're still a thing. Or your young people were like, what's that? So you just need something to wrap it around. I'm going to wrap my yarn around this way, but you could do it that way if you wanted. If I go that way, it's too long for my yarn. So if you... I'm just going to use sort of the shorter pieces as a guide. I'll have to trim the rest. So if I just put that next to it, that's about the same width. So you may have to just trim it off a bit. I'm going to have to, that is not English. I will have to, is that better? I will have to trim it off, as you can see. So yeah, we're going to grab something to wrap around. You could use your phone. I've used my phone before to make pom-poms. And you can see here that some of the threads are flipped up. There's some here. Don't show up very well because they're all blending in with the colours. And then here. And I've also just tied my ends. Can you see? Can you see that I've just tied them in a knot there? I don't normally do that. I think that's fine with this project. So yeah, the ones that are hanging up over the crochet, I'm going to sew those ones in. So you can see the ones hanging down. I'm going to need quite a few tassels. It's probably a bit too many. I may change it. The ones hanging down are going to be the tassels. Guys, it's going to be very tassely. Let's see if I flip these ones up every second. There will be a yellow one on the end. Maybe that's a bit better. That's not so tassely. But then is that enough tassels? Dilemma, dilemma. So you decide what you want and we'll show you how to make them. I'm going to go with the least amount of tassels. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tassels. But if that doesn't look enough, I'm going to add more. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to... I don't want it too tassely. Is that even a thing? Too many tassels? So I'm going to pop this aside. And I'm going to use my book. And I want my tassels multicoloured. You can use all the same colour if you want. But because you can see here, I've got a blue and a purple. I'm going to make blue and purple tassels. So we're going to pop the yarn down. Just hold it at the top there. And we're going to wrap our yarn around. I need to count this so I can make them all the same. So that's 1. I've done it 8 times, so I'm thinking, I think 8's enough. Let's have a look. I mean, if I need more, I can just cut more, right? So I'm going to cut it at the top there. And then where you've cut it, oops. Where you've cut it, that's where you want to cut the other threads. So just lift them all up. Put your scissors in and cut. Remove the yarn from our item that we used to make our tassels. Just sorry about this noise on the counter. On the counter? I do not say that. On the table. Just make sure they're all lined up at the end. And you can use a crochet hook to do this, but I have too many threads to use a crochet hook. And where I was going to put this tassel, I was going to put it just here. So I'm just going to remove my stitch marker so that that's not in the way. That was just to see where I wanted to put them. We want to pick our tassel up and find the centre of the tassel. So make sure they're lined up at the bottom the best that you can. You're going to have to trim those after anyway, so grab the middle. Grab where you want to attach it. So for me that's just here. You can attach it in any of those gaps. It's a 4 double crochet row. It just looks like a V-stitch because of the next row. It's a 4 double crochet row after my mesh, just in case you're wondering. And we're going to try and put all these threads that's on my finger through that gap, making sure you keep them separated there. I'm going to put the yarn ends that when we were crocheting, I'm going to put those to the end where the tassels are, the ends are here, and I'm going to put these through the loop that's on my fingers. Just got my fingers on there, and I'm going to grab all of those strands of yarn, just make sure I've got them all, and also I haven't got any of the other ones. So we're going to pull that through. And just before you pull really tight, just make sure that all of your ends are lining up. You can see mine aren't. Why is that happening? Let's have a look. Let's try this again. See, I don't always get it perfect. Sometimes I just edit out the errors so that you think, well, not so that you think it's perfect, but so you don't have to see me struggle. Alright, pull through. The trick is to keep this bit at the top here, which is the top of the tassel, at the top when you pull through, I guess. I think that's what happened before, I didn't do that. And we're going to grab all of our strands. Again, making sure there's not something in there that shouldn't be. Pull those all through. Now I'm holding on to my main section and also the end of my tassels. Hang on, I'm going to drop the yarn ends that's attached to my crochet, just so I can pull that through. I was like, why is it not working? Because I'm trying to pull something through that's already attached. And I'm just pulling. I can feel it getting tighter in the knot under my hand, so I'm just pulling it through so it gets tighter. Okay, what is that pink bit? Oh, that's where we've attached our tassel to, so we want to poke that back through. So this is the bit I would generally edit out. But then, I guess if you've got the same mistake, you're thinking, well, why have I got this mistake if you can't see it in my video? You're thinking, why is Claire's work so great the first time? Luckily we've got a few to make because then I can get some practice. Got any tips and tricks, anyone? If you do, stick them in the comment section. Right, we're good. I just want to pull that pink part out though. Blue one, it's loose. There we go. Got you, you little monkey. I'm just going to keep pulling these threads until I figure out which one is this blue one. It's got to be there somewhere. Got it. I'm just going to pull that pink part back through again. Ooh, look at that tassel. So just straighten it out with your fingers. Not too much length there to trim off. So I suggest doing this probably with old clothes on. I think that's because I've got it too short on one side. Oh. If you find that some of them have gone really short on one side, which I just noticed, you can actually pull, see this purple one, that's quite short, you can pull that and the other side will get shorter because the other side will be long. So I'm just going to trim off the bottom there. Because sometimes not all your threads are all the same length because you might have had tight tension or loose tension when you're wrapping your, get ready for your ends, when you're wrapping your tassel. So that's the first one. And I've got quite a few more to go. I have all my tassels done and I love them. You can see I just need to give them a little bit more of a trim, but I think that's heaps. If I put in more, it's just going to be way too much. Loving it. And you can see I've also sewn in the ends that I no longer need. So all I have to do now is repeat for the other side.